Viva Mpumalanga, viva! Viva Nkangala, viva! Viva Tanzania, viva! Viva Kharsbande, viva! Comrade, Sebo, Manje, we've got 3 regions, Comrade President, as you know them. Each region will have an opportunity to sing for your president. Can we start with the host region, Nkangala? Kipale ngoma Nkangala. Hai, gena Tanzania, Swateni. Kharsbande region coming. Amanda. Long live ANC, long live. Viva ANC, viva. Manda. Viva the Alliance, viva. Viva the leagues, viva. Tita Bafa, si. Tita Bafa, si.
Roar, the young lions, roar. Roar, the young lions, roar. Manda. Viva SSP, viva. Viva Kosatu, viva. Viva Sanko, viva. Skokele Mongameli President Ramaphosa, skokele. No leave, President Ramaphosa, no leave. Manda. Kula ANC, kula. Angithathele lithuba extend our revolutionary greetings to our President, Comrade President Ramaphosa, President of the ANC, our provincial convener, Comrade Gwen Ramakupa, and all the NEC members present, the chairperson of the province, Comrade Mandla Ndlovu, and the entire elected collective of the officials, and definitely for sure the incoming PC members. Those will be announced later. Let me also greet the Alliance, SSCP, COSATU, and SANCO, delegates who are here present, and the leadership of the Women's League, leadership of the Veterans League, leadership of the ANC Women's League present with us. Let me also greet the Premier of the province, Comrade Refiwe Tsipane Mtsweni, who's present. All our great branch delegates present here, our guests, and also the media persons. I'm going to deliver and present the declaration of this 13th Provincial Conference of Mpumalanga Province. We, the over 700 delegates from all walks of life of Mpumalanga Province, having met at Emalahleni with Bemdem Resort from the 1st to the 3rd of April 2022, convened under the theme of defending the gains of our freedom through renewal and unity of the African National Congress. That we reaffirm that the ANC, which is united and cohesive, remains a potent and relevant instrument of socio-economic liberation in the hands of our people. These elective army of delegates present here today, in almost through the entire debates, were also joined by our alliance partners, the South African Communist Party, COSATU, SANCO, and the leagues. The delegates, in their collective wisdom, deliberated and came to a common understanding and realization that we came to the conference being a divided, and therefore affirm our commitment to the unity and the renewal of the ANC, the importance of selecting quality leaders, transforming membership into cadres that will successfully prosecute the social transformation struggle, which is underpinned by the 5 pillars, namely the state, the economy, organizational work, ideological work, and institutional work. There has been a growing factionalism, the us and nobody else culture, and or tendency of pursuing personal interests crudely at all costs, as it is demonstrated during our preparations for the local government elections 2021. And recent excesses demonstrated in certain parts of our sub-regions in preparation for this conference, and as such, the delegates affirmed that among the local government elections performance is a clear indication that the ANC is on a path of losing trust from the public. Therefore, the conference committed itself to a revolutionary journey of addressing factionalism and divisions in all the structures. Mandla took my water. In this regard, the conference agreed that indeed the most important matter in our current state is an obligation to build a strong ANC so that it justly claims to be better leader of society. This commitment resonated from all delegates in their devotion to endeavor to build a new cadre with high levels of revolutionary conduct as a culture, principle and values of the movement are getting eroded. Therefore, the delegates agreed that a revolutionary movement got to be led by revolutionaries with high level of revolutionary morals. The latter is espoused by the current tribulations of some unusual conduct of members of the ANC. We as the delegates reaffirm the ANC commitment for isolating and rooting out corrupt practices from among our ranks and in government sector that the ANC have control on. The conference reaffirmed the movement's strategic intent, that of being the liberation of blacks in general, Africans in particular, from socio-economic bondage that is created by apartheid colonialism. Economic transformation and the road to prosperity was deliberated upon by delegates. It is against this background the delegates resolved that the PC should, working in the provincial government, with the provincial government, ensure that the economic indaba for the province is convened. This is in direct response to tackling the three resilient fault lines of unemployment, inequality, and poverty. The conference deliberated extensively on the balance of forces and lifted up the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The delegates sharply expressed concerns over humanitarian crisis because of this conflict. In this regard, the conference reaffirms the ANC's position on the Freedom Charter, which states that there shall be peace and friendship. It continues to state that South Africa shall strive to maintain world peace and the settlement of international disputes by negotiations and not war. It is against this backdrop that the delegates fully support the stance of promoting negotiations between the two countries as pronounced by the South African government as represented by His Excellency President Ramaphosa. This injunction also draws an affirmation that peace should reign in other parts of the world, such as the Western Sahara, Palestine, DRC, Libya, and others. It is our firm belief that BRICS remains the true progressive political and economic countermeasure of the current status quo. We urge our government to continuously strengthen the BRICS. The conference further reaffirms its commitment to SADC development and building a better Africa in line with a visionary AU Agenda 2063. The conference noted the little progress made towards promoting the values of non-racialism, non-sexism, and the creation of common patriotism and nationhood. Therefore, the conference affirmed to addressing promotion of national question principles and combating the gender-based violence and femicide pandemic. The conference vigorously debated several resolutions. Key among others is the mainstreaming youth, women development, the social cohesion and nation building, organizational renewal, building a capable and developmental state. On organizational renewal, delegates committed themselves to building and renewing all ANC structures from the branch level. Delegates further affirmed the ANC 54th National Conference resolution on step aside. To this extent, the election of the provincial treasurer was deliberated upon and agreed that we as delegates should stick to this resolution of stepping aside. The land question has attracted a lot of interest among the delegates, most of them voicing displeasure on the progress thus far made on the slow progress of transferring land into the hands of the previously dispossessed people. The delegates applauded the ANC's endeavor as per the 54th National Conference resolution to push through parliamentary processes the implementation of resolution of the expropriation of land without compensation. Thank you. We leave this conference with a resolute commitment to continual bettering our people's lives, bettering their material conditions by fighting the triple challenges, and fully charged to champion the skills revolution that will expedite absorption of the youth and women in particular in the mainstream of the economy. We are fully conscious of the fact that we can achieve all of this through building a strong and a united African National Congress. Our people have high expectations and hopes from the ANC. We dare not fail. Let us all, as delegates of this 13th Mpumalanga Provincial Conference, rise to the occasion. The ANC lives, the ANC leads. Amanda!
Thank you, Comrade Nopala. Comrade, declaration has been read. May we entertain the declaration? This is your declaration. Can I get some comments? The mover, if that Comrade Leah, the first hand, in other hand. Okay. Shh. Comrades, if you want to speak, raise your hand. Simple as ABC. Let me take the first hand, Comrade Leah. Shh. Comrade. This is the second hand. The third hand. This is a hand at the back. Yes, myself, Comrade. Number 4. Any other hand? Comrade San. Okay. Yes. Can we have those hands compressed? Remember, this declaration is what we have discussed. Comrade Leah.
The conference delegate to the 13th Provincial Conference, hereby move to adopt the declaration of this conference.
Thank you very much. I've got the sequence of hand. Do I want to get a second comment, comrades? What's to follow?
Thank you very much, Deputy Chair, the chair of the session. I'm Mpumalanga, Ward 14, Senior, the delegate to this conference. I actually second what currently is more.
Thank you very much. Can I get a counter view? A radical counter view? In the absence of none, may I ask the House to give applause as we have already moved and seconded declaration. The declaration are fully moved and so duly seconded. Thank you very much, comrades. Well, comrades, we are moving now with our program. Comrades, the President wants to hear all of us if we can sing, and the Youth League have not had opportunity. So as the Women's League, can I give the Youth League opportunity? Youth League? Oh, in the absent. Youth League, you got a second chance. Can I hear you, comrade? Manja. Comrades, the election will be ready in a short while. Can you get the woman's league? Comrade, the morale must now grow. We must make sure that the morale is high. We must leave this watershed conference of Mpumalanga, known as Witbank Dam, in a high note. Can we sing, comrades? All the songs we sing must be a song that seeks to unite us. Remember, we are far from just what is Zalapa, if we elect during the march. We must sing something that takes this province forward, comrade. Yeah, we are now leading all of you. Mandla. Youth clear mungambe na vanga kakuhle. Comrade, Viva ANC Youth League, Viva! Comrade, I understand this Zamaweza. Can I give him Kangala again? Kangala opportunity is yours. Nothing to punch you, comrade. What do you need? Don't worry, comrade. Let's give a chance. Our Tanzania were relevant. In 3 days we'll be celebrating Comrade O. Solomon Matla. He was born on the 6th of April. So relevant. So kuna sipi the food lengo wa Comrade. So kuzwakala udai songe sikulu. Yes, he was murdered on the 6th of April. So kollegile lengo sikulu were most relevant. Etanzania, congratulations, Comrade Sapru. Can you do that? Solomon. very much, comrade. Thank you, Sabo. Indeed, the morale is now high. Thank you, President. Thank you. Thank you, comrade. Comrade, there is a slight delay, and I must indeed apologize. We would have finished earlier on, but would have loved to have all the elected comrades of the PEC on the stage as the newly elected chairperson addressing us. Okay, comrades, can we be quiet? We are going to allow the chairperson to speak now. Thank you, chairperson.
Amandla, long live ANC, long live. Long live President Cyril, long live. Comrade, I'm not going to be long. We are advised that the storm is coming. I want the President to address you. President Cyril, welcome to Mpumalanga province. I saw in the media, in bold letters, they declared that Ramaphosa's in Mpumalanga has been elected as the chairperson of the ANC. I don't know why they are saying that I am the ally of the president. There are others that sometimes they believe that a chairperson of the province will not talk to the president of the ANC. I don't understand why these people are dreaming that you will have the chairperson of the ANC in one province. Others have been coming to me to advise me that Mandla, you must talk to the buffalo. We are not talking to the buffalo. So this comrade, they don't know. I'm happy that Comrade Thabang Makwetla is here. He understands better that was talking to Comrade Mbeki, Comrade Thabang. Comrade Fish is here. Also, they had a very good relationship with Comrade Mbeki. Comrade Matthews Posa also had a very good relationship with Comrade President Mandela. So people should stop to think or to dream that there is a provincial chairperson in Mpumalanga that cannot talk to the president. I want just to deal with two theories so that I will invite the president. I don't know where did they get this theory. My supervisor, one day we're discussing Ongama. He said to me, Mandla, there are two theories that I want us to discuss. And I said, what are those theories? He said, there is one called the Zuma theory, and the other one is ANC theory. Okay, let's engage. He said that the Zuma theory suggests that the collective contribution and not an individual contribution determine the outcome of election. So always is the collective together that determine the outcome of the performance of a political party in an election. That's what he said. And then the ANC theory suggests that a popular, a beloved torchbearer can augment the electoral program or the electoral performance of a political organization. If you have got a president that has or is enjoying more support that president can be able to uplift also the organization to have more results in an election. That's what he said to me. Certain people, that's what he said, they don't vote for a political party, but they vote for the leader of that organization. So that is what the ANC theory is all about. President Cyril Ramaphosa, if they're saying that Mandla, you are the ally of President Cyril Ramaphosa, really, I would be happy to be the ally of a person that in 2019 enjoys more than 70% of the support of the people of this country. And now, 2022, he is still the most popular politician in South Africa. If you want, you can conduct your own research. We will also come here and inform people about your research outcome. Comrade, I said that I'm not going to dwell much because I don't want to take most of the time that the president is going to utilize to address you. There were so many issues that I was going to raise with you. So if we're supposed to share 40% myself with the president, it means that I must take just maybe 10 minutes. President CR is a member of the ANC, a humble servant of the servant. Doesn't inflate his own sense of self. There was a concern at a certain stage, President CR, about the health of President OR, from President CR to President OR. Because of his health, by that time he was hit by a stroke. So there were members of the ANC, including his family, that they advised him just to slow down. They said that they must just cut some of these responsibilities in the organization. And President OR said that it will be impossible for me to consider your request because my tasks are not decided by me, but are decided by structures of the ANC. He said that if there will be a call from my organization to perform any task, I will not say no. This is what President O.R. Tambo said. When I was addressing here, when I was requested to accept the nomination, I said, let me quote myself. I said that if there is a call from branches of the ANC, I'm a member of the ANC, I'm not going to say no. And I did not say no here. So I don't understand why people are misquoting me. I did not want to defend myself. And that those that they said that I violated even the ANC guidelines, that I endorsed the president of the ANC, Mpumalanga, endorsed the president of the ANC. Is it wrong, really? Does that make me to be the ally of the president? So as the chairperson of the ANC, I'll always advise the president. It's my duty also to advise the president. That president, again I'm repeating, and this time around, if there will be any person that will misquote me, I'm ready to defend myself. I'm saying today in front of you, all of you, that Comrade President CR, if there is a call from branches as a true cadre of this movement, President CR, accept that call. My president, please, that those that they were dreaming that I was going to close the conference. So there is only one person that will close this conference, and that is the president of this giant, the African National Congress. I would request Comrade President to come and close this conference. Amanda!
Amanda! Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Viva SACP, viva! Viva COSATU, viva! Malibongwe! Malibongwe! Igama lamakhosikazi! Roar, young lions, roar! Forward with our Veterans League, forward! Amanda! Comrade Convener of the NEC, ANC deployees, Comrade Dr. Gwen Ramaphosa, members of the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress who came to support you all as members of our movement in the province. There were about 25 of them. I greet them and I thank them for the absolutely excellent work that they did this weekend. Newly elected and minted provincial chairperson of ANC in Mpumalanga, Comrade Mandla Ndlovu, and all those officials who've also been elected with you, and those members of the PEC whose names are still being collated, who will most probably be announced after my speech, representatives of the Alliance, from COSATU, the SACP, representatives of SANCO as well, leadership of the ANC Women's League, both at national and provincial level, leadership of the ANC Youth League, both at national and provincial level, the Premier of our province, MECs, mayors, delegates, and comrades. Let me begin by congratulating the various structures of our movement here in Mpumalanga for convening this conference that has been a resounding success.
Comrade Chairperson, Comrade Mandla, I saw some report where you said those who had thought that this conference, or was it Comrade Chiro, I don't remember, who had thought that this would be like a chaotic conference, festival of fists, and claps and cheers, are disappointed. We know, comrades, that this has not been without its own challenges, but ultimately we have met the high standards expected of a provincial conference such as this one. And you've pulled together and pulled each other together in a very organized way, politically and organizationally, to have this absolutely wonderful conference. I thank you for it. Structures were re-established and the alignment of branches has been successful, with approximately 111 branches properly integrated. The convening of this conference is therefore what I would call a significant milestone. Now, this is a year of conferences in the Congress movement. There are many of our structures that are going to be holding conferences. When I addressed our comrades at their 17th National Congress of the National Union of Mine Workers earlier this week, I said to them, many formations of the Congress movement are going to be going to conferences. And in holding their conferences, I said I would call the gold standard of what should be regarded as a successful conference as being a conference that is held organizationally successfully, because the golden standard to me must be a conference that has successful outcomes, a conference that is violence-free, and a conference where there's been no manipulation, no corruption, no funny things happening. That golden standard dictates that such conferences must adhere to the revolutionary discipline and uphold the finest traditions of our Congress movement and strictly adhere to the principles and the values of the ANC and its constitution. Comrades, I'm proud to say that you have met the Congress movement golden standard by the holding of this conference. So well done to you all, comrades. You have set the bar quite high. And it is my wish that over the following 8 months, we see the same high standards being adhered to across the structures of our Congress movement, as each of our formations hold their conferences. The SACP is going to hold their own conference, COSATU is going to hold its own conference, our various regions and provinces are going to hold their own conferences, and finally, we will be heading to our own national conference in December to crown this wonderful golden standard and to crown the success that we are all going to demonstrate that we are indeed a revolutionary Congress movement that does things properly and holds successful conferences. So I wish to congratulate the leadership that is elected here, led by Comrade Mandla Ndlovu, and those who are going to be announced later today, the officials who've been elected. The branches have indeed spoken. As branches, you have expressed your will through the decisions that you have made. You came as branches and as members to this conference divided, but you have elected a leadership that is meant to unite you, to unite all the members of the ANC here, and to enable you as you move back to your regions to be filled with this spirit of renewal, the spirit of unity. If you came here, and I did come to the province some weeks ago, and I said to you, I could see you were divided. You were different strains. I wouldn't even call you factions. You were different perspectives. But arising from this conference, I would like you all to take this one message, that as members of the ANC, you've taken a decision to elect this leadership, and the decision that you took was that the ANC must be united and the ANC must be renewed. That is what you have done. You have done so that these comrades should assume the mantle of leadership and cadership and take forward our program of action as spelled out in the January 8th statement. None of us need reminding that you are coming into your positions at a critical time for the province and our movement, and indeed for our country. Our foremost task as the African National Congress, comrades, is to be at the forefront of improving the lives of our people, to be at the forefront of our economic reconstruction and recovery process by reducing unemployment, by eliminating poverty and hunger, and increasing investment and growth in our country. And I want to repeat myself. South Africa's economic reconstruction and recovery is our foremost and task that lies before us. It is the task that matters above all other tasks. And it is us, the African National Congress, who are tasked by the people of this country with the responsibility of leading the process of reconstruction and development aimed at eradicating the problems of poverty and inequality that were created, yes, by our past system of apartheid, but also aimed at creating a just and equitable economic and social order. These are the words that are enshrined in our ANC Constitution. The State of the Nation address delivered by our Premier on the 25th of February gave us a clear indication of the provincial government's bold as well as ambitious plans for Mpumalanga for this year and beyond. We are greatly encouraged by the plans for investment, by the plans for investment in tourism, particularly in the network industries, in social infrastructure, in agriculture, in agro-processing, as well as in mining and manufacturing, to name but a few. We congratulate the government of the province for the hugely significant step that it has taken to establish the Just Transition Group, a working group to address the impact of the country's low-carbon, climate change resilient path on affected communities here in the heartland of this coal mining area in our country that produces the entirety of the electricity that our country enjoys. The job creation efforts that will be driven by the local economic development strategies across the 20 municipalities are broad in scope and equally ambitious. We are particularly excited by the plans for the rollout of the Nkomazi Special Economic Zone and the Petrochemical Industrial Technology Park in Govan Mbeki Municipality, and at plans to support small and medium enterprises and the informal economy as well. We want to see the provincial government's plan for infrastructure upgrades also realized this year, such as schools, water and sanitation projects. We want to see existing municipalities' initiatives, learnerships, the expanded public works program, the presidential employment stimulus, and others resulting in more work opportunities for our people, especially young people. And of course, we want to see our roads being resurfaced and the potholes in many parts of this province being closed as well. We also want to see poverty eradicated, social relief and food security programs being scaled up, and the province's land reform program also being accelerated. We want to see the residents of this province getting vaccinated against COVID-19 so that our lives and our economy can bounce back. We want to see real and tangible progress towards overcoming not just poverty and unemployment, but the many social ills affecting our communities, such as crime, such as drug abuse, alcohol abuse, but also more importantly, gender-based violence being eradicated. This is just some of the work that has to be done here in Mpumalanga. And I listened very carefully to a number of you as you were speaking on the report backs from commissions. The debates that were going on here were of a truly high standard. I want to applaud you for that. The level of intellectual rigor and political understanding here in Mpumalanga is very high, and I'm very proud to have been here to see it for myself. In the end, comrades, it is us as the African National Congress who lead this province. It is us, the ANC, who have the responsibility of improving our people's lives. It is not a responsibility that we can outsource or hand over to others or put on the back burner as we resolve our internal issues. Now, given the scale of the task and the amount of work that it needs to be done, we need to do a number of things. And I can single out three. The first is to have a razor-sharp level of attention. In other words, we must be focused. No. I knew somehow that that word would excite you. We must have a heightened level of attention. Attention that is free from all distractions. and must never take our eye off the ball. In other words, we must be Now, in saying this, I looked at the dictionary. I tried to find another word. Bengeko. We must be focused and pay attention. We all know what these distractions are. These distractions, comrades, then let's be serious. These distractions are infighting amongst us. They are the internal squabbles. They are the divisions amongst us. And that is what distracts us. Because it is when we do things like that, that we lose our attention on what needs to be done. And they also revolve around contestations that are rooted in battles over access to power and access to resources. In the end, when everything is stripped down, I have found that our squabbles, our divisions, our fights are around those two issues: power and access to resources. That is what we fight over. Now, if we want to lose the war, or if we want to lose the elections, the best thing that we can do is to continue squabbling amongst us. And we will lose power. We will lose the elections because we are focused on fighting amongst ourselves, instead of focusing on improving the lives of our people. The second is to drive reconstruction and recovery, to create jobs and to promote growth. We need nothing less than a capable, strong and united ANC. In Mpumalanga, in Limpopo, in Gauteng, in the Eastern Cape, and in all provinces, KZN, Western Cape, Northwest, all over the country, what we need is a strong, united African National Congress, where the leaders are not consumed by fighting amongst themselves for power and resources. The third is the most important of all, is we need the trust and the confidence of our people. Our people will never have confidence in us for as long as they see us fight amongst ourselves, for as long as they see us fighting over access to the resources that belong to them. Last month, the ANC's offices here in Mbombela, here in this province, were set alight by a disgruntled comrade. I do not wish to dwell on the circumstances, but that is a metaphor for the state of affairs of the ANC. It's a metaphor for the state of the affairs of the ANC that should not be lost on us. The house is on fire. And we are the ones who must put out this fire. And you, as delegates here, you must put out the fire of divisions. You must put out the fire of corruption. You must put out the fire of everything that's going wrong in your movement. Last year's local government election results are just one of the indicators that our movement faces serious challenges. And I was interested to hear you speak in your commissions about precisely this, that the local government elections demonstrated to us that we're losing the support of our people. our veteran here, stood here at this platform and she addressed precisely this issue. The poor state of our ANC-run municipalities, the widespread prevalence of corruption in our ranks, which you also addressed in the commissions. These are just some of the deeply troubling signposts. Even this incident of offices being set alight pales in comparison to others that have befallen us in recent years. Our own members of the ANC are taking the ANC to court with increasing regularity to railroad various regional conferences. Just when they disagree on something, they immediately run to the courts. And yet we agreed as a movement that we will resolve our problems internally and find each other, as the tradition of the ANC goes. We've also seen scuffles and even shootings at branch meetings. Some of the events leading to this conference itself were characterized by, yes, huge disagreements. There has been slow consequence management with regard to some of those incidents, with the impression given that ill discipline has been normalized in our movement. But it doesn't matter ukuthi wenzani, it's now accepted behavior. And it cannot be, comrades. We cannot be characterized as an organization of ill-disciplined people. I refuse that we should be seen as being ill-disciplined. In other parts of the country, we've seen ANC councillors attacked and in some cases even killed as a result of both rivalries between political parties and within our own party. And I ask you, comrades, what message are we sending to the people of South Africa who have entrusted their confidence and trust in us to lead them? And I'll tell you what message it sends. It sends the message that we are too preoccupied with our own interests to attend to the urgent program of fixing this country and improving the life of its people. We see it in service delivery protests, many of which turn violent. We saw it last year in the local government elections, where voter turnout was the lowest of any election in our post-democratic history. Never has the ANC been more in need of the urgent program of renewal and unity than what we have embarked upon. It has become more and more urgent that we regain the trust and the confidence of the people of South Africa. And if the local government elections are a barometer of things to come, the national elections in 2024 will yield similar, if not worse, results for us as the ANC. Therefore, the call I made when I was last year for all of our branches is that let us go back and analyze the election results and develop clear programs that will make us win the 2024 election. In this respect, the newly elected PEC does have its work cut out, because what the PEC now needs to do is to make sure that our election fortunes here in Mpumalanga are turned around completely. I did congratulate you here in Mpumalanga because the performance you gave in the local government elections was actually quite good. But you know you can do much better than what we did in the last election. But having said all that, comrades, we are still a strong ANC. I say this particularly for those who think that the ANC is on its knees. We are not on our knees. We are a strong African National Congress. We govern the majority of this country's municipalities. We are the governing party of this country. Bayatanda, Noma Abatandi. We are the government of this country. In our ranks are many capable, and I want to state this very clearly. In our ranks there are many capable and committed comrades who are leading with distinction, with diligence, with principle, and with revolutionary morality. The country's majority continue to have faith in the ANC as an agent of change because we are a party that has a track record. Yes, we agree that along the way we faltered and weakened, and we are the only party that has been able to admit a number of the things that we have not done well. But our people still have faith in the ANC, particularly in advancing the non-racial, non-sexist, democratic agenda that our country requires. This conference in the commissions has had spirited and enriching discussion on national priorities and also on the ever critical issue of organizational renewal. Our organizational renewal document clearly articulates our challenges and the steps that we need to take as a movement to regain our stature as the leader of society. Now, as we all know, the NEC has adopted the proposal of a renewal commission, which tasks include reshaping our movement into the future. Much of our renewal tasks include dealing with reform of our internal processes. We have adopted a new membership system which eliminates the possibility of manipulation, particularly delegates to conferences. And I'm proud to know and to have seen that you've used this new membership system, and that is why your conference is so successful based on that. The selection and election of our leaders is now streamlined, both internally in the organization and also those that we want to deploy in government. Now, these are some of the concrete steps that we are taking on the path of renewing ourselves. We've said that we are going to collate the many steps that we need to take to renew our organization. And as we have often said, comrades, renewal is a process. It's not a one-day event. Many other organizations that have sought to renew themselves, they found that you've got to take step by step by step until you reach that point where you are indeed fully renewed. But the trap we must not fall into is that of postulating, intellectualizing, and endlessly fixating on our challenges and not giving equal attention to the roadmap of resolving our challenges. Now, the ANC's Through the Eye of the Needle document, which was first published in 2001, speaks of the ANC as a movement that organizes and leads the people of our country in the task of social transformation. It speaks of the ANC as a movement that mobilizes people to take active part in changing their lives for the better. It speaks of the ANC as a movement that does a number of things, including pursuing economic growth and all that. I want to call on the new leadership that you have elected, but also on the branches of this program, of this province, to do what is necessary to make sure that we truly renew our movement and we revive our branches, and our branches must become centers of activity, centers of leadership of communities that we live in. We must remain, yes, focused on the tasks that are set out in our Constitution. Our Constitution endears each of our branches to be active centers of mobilizing our people for social change and transformation. We must not be distracted by all these other issues that give rise to divisions. So we call on our branches to regain the trust and the confidence of our people. And how will we do this? We will do this through getting involved in the lives of our people. If there are challenges of gender-based violence, it is the ANC branch that must be deeply involved with solving and addressing that challenge. If there is a problem of crime in our communities, it is the ANC that must be leading that process. If there are problems in the schools, problems with service delivery and all that, it is the African National Congress branch that must be involved in trying to find solutions to improve the lives of our people. Now, throughout its history, the ANC has shown itself capable of leading our people, but it has also shown itself capable of self-correction. And this era in the life of our movement is proving to be that moment when we need comrades to be leading society as well as to correct ourselves. We must build stronger branches that are well run, that are well connected to our communities, and through being branches that are connected to improving the lives of our people, we will find that we are better able to serve our people. We are consolidating our internal processes to build a better run organization. And this conference in itself is evidence of that. Many people thought that your conference would not even take place. I'm glad that you have proven them wrong. Comrades, let's go on and prove them wrong again. When they think that you will not be united, when they think that as you hold your regional conferences, you are going to be tearing each other apart, let's prove them wrong and unite even as we go to the next conferences. We are, comrades, we must rid ourselves, and you address this in the commissions. We must rid ourselves of self-serving individuals who want an ANC that serves their interests. The ANC must always come first, and an individual's interest must come second or last. The January 8th statement asserted that revolutionary discipline is non-negotiable. One of the most distinctive features of an organization that takes renewal seriously is when an organization reassets the issue of discipline in the workings of the organization. The NEC has gone further by reconstituting, yes, our disciplinary committee structures. The renewal of the ANC should be premised on leadership that is resolute in taking action against anyone acting against the interests of the African National Congress, acting against its principles and the values of our organization through indiscipline. The National Conference, comrades, has pronounced clearly on how we should manage issues relating to corruption and dealing with leaders who have been charged with serious offenses. ANC members and delegates at other conferences should act in concert with the dictates, yes, of our Constitution, with the dictates of what was decided at our conference. And comrades, as you yourselves discussed in your commissions, and as also enshrined in your declaration, which was just read out by Comrade Provincial Secretary, Comrade Chief, we need to demonstrate to all and sundry that indeed the African National Congress is serious about self-correcting, is serious when it comes to matters of dealing with corruption, is serious about, yes, the implementation of our resolutions, and on issues such as stepping aside, we must demonstrate that we are truly serious as the African National Congress. Now, you have addressed the issue, and the provincial leadership is going to address this issue. During the course of your elections, you took the step of, yes, also endorsing and electing one of the comrades who is facing charges. Now, I know that you have reflected on this and you are going to do further reflection. This matter does need your reflection as a disciplined membership of this organization. Your reflection must be based on the decisions that have been taken by our national conference. But your reflection must also be based on the decisions that have also been taken by the National Executive Committee, which is the highest decision-making body in between conferences, in the form of democratic centralism. Now, I call on you to reflect on this matter, because it is a matter that you do need to address, to reflect on. But more properly set out, the National Executive Committee also needs to discuss this matter, because you are not the only province that is facing this issue. Now, as I said, comrades, the issue of renewal is a process. And as we go through this process, we learn from some of the things that we continue to do. Now, I am saying to us, all of you, that we need to reflect on this matter, and it's a matter that needs to be based and reflected on in line with the decisions that have been taken by our conference. Let us not downplay the progress that we are making, as through the eye of the needle document warned against back in 2001. At the same time, let us never underestimate the views that our people have of us. When they look at us, they want us to be an organization that truly leads society, that upholds the highest of values, that embraces the absolutely upstanding principles. And let us remember that that is what our people expect. So what I've done, comrades, is to spell out what we need to do, particularly as we move forward. As we move forward also to our conference and also to the national elections in 2 years' time. Now is the time for us to focus, to pay attention on what will advance the interests of our people and how the ANC should reposition itself as it leads our people, as it renews itself, as it demonstrates to all and sundry that we are fit and proper to continue leading this country going forward. What we need to do is to consolidate what constitutes our value system. What we need to do is to be an organization that is committed to renewal, to unity, but what we also need to do is to show leadership to our country going forward. Because if we do so, then we should be able to show our people that they can invest further confidence and trust in us. We have some favorable winds that are blowing. The economy is beginning to show optimistic signs of recovery. Even one of the rating agencies has taken us out of the negative realm into the stable realm. They are beginning to see that there are green shoots that are coming through. And it is the ANC, therefore, that must recognize that there are these positive winds that are blowing our way and renew itself, reposition itself, so that it can continue leading this country going forward. There are steps that we need to take as a movement so that we live up to the standards that have been set up by our forebears. Now, as the ANC in Mpumalanga, you need to keep that high standard. Let us work as a united ANC, yes, to show that we are united. Now, you came here having a level of disunity. Now, I call upon you to be united, to rally behind this leadership. You may well have preferred other people to lead this province, but now this conference has elected this leadership. I call upon you to rally behind Comrade Mandla and those that he is going to work with. Even if you did not vote for Comrade Mandla, as a disciplined cadre of this movement, you are duty-bound to regard and see Comrade Mandla as your leader, to rally behind him, to support Comrade Mandla and the other officials and the provincial, the PEC that's going to be announced, so that we all pull in one direction. This is the leadership that the membership of this organization in Mpumalanga has elected. We must support them and rally behind them. Now, comrades, all of us therefore have a task. And the task we have is to restore the African National Congress to its glory. We are a glorious movement with a 110-year glorious history. Let us, in everything that we do, including the reflections that we are going to have, ensure that the ANC returns to the path of glory. That is where we belong, and let us take forward the gains that we have made, and one of the gains is the holding of this conference. And I congratulate you once again for being disciplined and holding this conference in the successful way that you have. Thank you very much, comrades.
Mandla, how are you too? Well, comrade. Okay. Well, comrade, that's great. At least the Electoral Commission is done with the result and they're just outside. Can we allow them to come in? Can you give applause to our president, comrades? Mongameli. Siyabonga. Siyabonga Mongameli. Yes, can you create some space here, comrade Gwen? How about saying?
Asila